Hi, Aidan Brennan here from the Irish Farmers Journal. In this video, we highlight some of the key messages from the first of the Teagasc Spring Grass Walks held on Peter Hines' farm in Aherla, County Cork. Peter is milking 130 cows, his stocking rate is 2.5 cows per hectare, and he's a key focus on grass. He uses a spring rotation planner in spring to allocate grass on a daily basis, and he plans to feed no more than 3 kilos of concentrate per cow per day for every day of the spring. At the farm walk, Teagasc advisor Gráinne Hurley said the main objective is to utilise 1 tonne of grass dry matter per hectare in the first rotation, to set the farm up to grow high yields of good quality grass, and finally to have the cows in good body condition score for the start of mating season. On Peter's farm, calving started on the 20th of January. He will have 78% of the cows calved in 6 weeks. His opening farm cover was 913 kilos of grass per hectare, and he plans to feed 180 kilos of meal this spring. One of the key messages from the farm walk was the importance of the spring rotation planner. For Peter, this takes the guesswork out of making decisions in spring, as he knows the exact area he needs to graze per day for every day of the spring. Depending on the cover of grass in this area and the amount of cows he has calved, he knows whether he needs to feed more or less supplement. Peter's spring rotation planner starts on the 1st of February and finishes on the 4th of April. The key target is to have 30% of the farm grazed by the end of February and 60% grazed by the middle of March. To reach a 30% target by the end of February, Peter needs to graze 1% of the farm per day. And in order to do this, he will have to graze some lower covers at the start. The highest cover on Peter's farm is a cover of 2,000 kilos, but he won't start grazing here first. Instead, he will go to some lighter covers of maybe 800 to 1,000 kilos and start grazing here, and then when the weather is settled and he's a good few cows calved, he'll go to the high cover to move through this fast. There was a big discussion on fertiliser at the farm walk. Peter spread 23 units an acre of urea on about 30% of the farm on the 15th of January, and on the 16th of January he spread 2,500 gallons of slurry on another 30% of the farm. Some farmers questioned if spreading urea in January was too early, but the research says that there was a really good response to nitrogen in early spring. For every 1 kilo of nitrogen spread, 10 kilograms of grass dry matter was grown. And when compared to the cost of other feeds, spreading urea now was probably 5 times cheaper. The key target is to have 60 to 70 units of nitrogen out per acre by the 1st of April, either in the form of urea or slurry. At the last stand, Peter went through the techniques he uses for grazing cows in springtime, especially when the weather is wet. The first thing he uses is 12-hour breaks. Secondly, he cows graze in square blocks. Peter always uses a back fence when the weather is wet and will walk cows in single file to the next grazing section, either along a permanent fence or a hedge. When the weather is really wet, he will use on-off grazing, whereby he grazes the cows for 3 hours and then they're back into the shed, and then 3 hours again in the evening. While Peter acknowledges that he is fortunate to have a dry farm, he does feel the extra work in grassland management in spring, bringing cows in and out, putting up extra fences, is definitely worth it. Over the last 5 years, he has seen his farm go from 2 to 3 cent a litre below the co-op average in terms of milk price, to being 3 or 4 cent a litre above milk price. And he puts this down to grassland management, as the breed of cow has not changed dramatically over the same period. The farm walk that took place in Peter Hines' farm in Cork is just one of 20 farm walks that Teagasc are organising across the country. The key take-home message for me was the focus on the spring rotation planner, as this is a really simple tool and it takes the guesswork away from grassland management in spring. Secondly, spread nitrogen out to grow high volumes of grass over the next 2 months. And finally, utilise this grass, as every extra day grass is worth €2.70 per cow per day.